Hello everybody. Thank you for joining me for your weekly reading for March 23rd to March 29th, 2020. Keep in mind that time and energy are fluid, so these messages can apply any which way or vice versa. Don't force it if it doesn't fit. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. But that said, I hope you have had a beautiful weekend. I did just put out the weekly readings for all of the signs. My apologies for getting those out late. I put them out on Saturday. So, yes, we're going to take a deep breath to connect deeper with our higher selves and spirit, and I do hope you join. Call it the spirit to please help myself and anyone watching this to hear, see, and know anything we need to hear, see, and know for the week of March 23rd to March 29th, 2020. I'm going to go ahead and get into it with 3 shuffles. So let's see what Spirit has in store for us for this week. We are well into Aries season, I believe. We just went into Aries season not long ago. So we'll see how this plays out in this reading. We have the Fool, we have 3 of Cups reverse, we have King of Swords, and then we have the Chariot reverse clarified by the Hermit and the 2 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Let me see if I can get these straight, because I've been doing my readings a little bit differently lately. I've been enjoying this new format. So here we go. So if we're taking a look at this overall energy, what I'm seeing here is particularly with the Hermit and the 2 of Cups. The Hermit to me, it can represent a time of going within, a time of seclusion, whether voluntary or involuntary, considering the circumstances. But it feels like right now a lot of that is happening for us to gain control over the ways in which we use our masculine and feminine energies within all of our interactions. 2 of Cups to me, as I said, it represents the masculine and feminine energies. It can represent inner union. And so I feel like a big reason we're going through what we're going through right now as a collective is to help us come to that sense of inner union. More so in the sense I feel like it has been too easy to avoid doing the work. Just because, as busy as we have all been, given that we're having a little bit more downtime, society is slowing down a little bit, it is giving us the opportunity to really sit with some of the things coming up. Given there's a massive collective shift right now, there's a massive shift in consciousness. Big changes are happening within us. And so I really feel like that's kind of what the universe is trying to show us right now, especially with the Chariot reverse. The Chariot in the upright to me represents fast movement, or it represents things moving forward. It can also represent our light and our shadow running reckless and the need to rein them in. But the fact that it's in the reverse speaks to me again of this Hermit type of energy, slowing down, taking time to sit with some of the things coming up, and focusing on our inner balance more than ever, right? But what I see here with the Fool, the 3 of Cups reverse, and the King of Swords, this feels like the external collective energy, and this seems like a more individual internal energy. King of Swords can represent somebody you're dealing with, an air sign, but it can also represent your inner masculine energy, given we are in the stage of collective balancing. But the 3 of Cups reverse in this reading, in this particular context, feels like a time of trying to come out of the imbalances, but more so recognizing the imbalance. So what I'm seeing with the King of Swords, it seems to be speaking to me of somebody who is very, very sure of themselves, who knows exactly what it is they want to do, and is not going to let anything stand in their way to get there. But I feel like that energy applied to the Fool and the 3 of Cups reverse is telling me that you are now coming to a point of recognizing what was and what wasn't working in your life, now that you've had the time to really slow down. And by doing so, it's going to allow you to move forward in a way that's going to be more conducive to your own personal well-being. So let's clarify these a bit. Sorry if that was loud. Okay, so we're going to clarify these. We have Fool clarified by the Page of Swords reverse, Three of Cups reverse clarified by Three of Pentacles, which is a pretty fitting card to have here, I think. And then we have the Queen of Cups clarifying the King of Swords, excuse me, and then the Lovers clarifying Lovers and the Tower. I'm going to actually put both of these out there. I've been doing this thing lately where I've been clarifying with the bottom of the deck. And so it's been working out really well. So let me move them so they're fitting on this little layout here. We do have counterparts. You know, we do have the King and the Queen. They are of different suits. This can represent two people. Can also represent, again, the inner masculine and feminine energies. I don't know if I'm going to get this super straight without messing up the other cards. So do the best we can. So it does feel like there is definitely a wake-up call. What I'm seeing here with the Tower often represents the shaking up of events. Given we do have the Lovers, it can represent a decision. It is a card of Gemini, so it can represent duality in that sense. I feel like we're talking about a relationship here, given a lot of these readings do turn into love readings to some extent. It does seem Spirit wants me to take it that way. So we'll go ahead and get into that, because we have the Queen of Cups and the King of Swords both clarifying each other. I feel like this massive change in events that we're all going through right now, this internal shifting, this collective realization, collective consciousness uplifting, is really helping us come to terms with what it is we cherish and value out of life, opposed to what it was we thought we cherished and valued when we were in that state of being super busy, right? When that chariot was in the upright and we were all just going hard like all the time. Not that every single one of us were, but I feel like that was a collective energy for a while there, was really just working as hard as you can, as much as you can, to get as far ahead as you can, given a lot of the circumstances many of us face when it comes to the struggles of life. And so I feel like a lot of that's being uprooted in the collective. It's making us realize the inconsistencies with a lot of the ways we operated in life. And by doing so, I think it's helping us realize the importance of love, not only within ourselves, but within the relationships in our lives, and teaching us to appreciate not only what we do have, but what we have had. And so when we're talking about the counterparts here, that does feel like what is coming through. I mean, we have the Lovers and we have the counterparts. I can sit here and say, oh, twin flame, I can say soulmate, but at the end of the day, you know, it's going to resonate with your situation if it does, and if it doesn't, don't force it, right? So what I'm seeing here with this Page of Swords reverse and the Fool energy, it's feeling like, it feels like both people, because I can sit here and I can say it's the masculine or I can say it's the feminine, but like we both have those energies within us. And so these messages can just as easily apply to both of you. And so what I'm seeing here is that both of you seem to be wanting to come out of this Page of Swords upright phase, given it is in the reverse. When it's in the upright, to me, that feels like somebody who is maybe a little bit caught in their head, maybe a little bit timid when it comes to moving forward or even coming forward. Even though the swords are the card of communication, it's not necessarily a card that you would expect to have a communication with, given we do, like the Page of Wands would be more of a coming forth type of energy. But the Page of Swords, especially in the reverse, feels like that timidness, but it feels like it's been wanting to come past that point, right? But with the Three of Pentacles here, clarifying this Three of Cups reverse, when I see the Three of Pentacles, to me, this represents the balance of the mind, the body, and the soul, right? It's the divine triad, if you will. And when it comes to our personal internal experience, I feel like this collective thing we're going through, as well as the realizations we're coming to in love and relationships, are what is helping us come to a sense of balance and is going to allow us to move forward in a way that isn't going to lead to more unnecessary tower moments. Because while I do feel like tower moments can be constructive and they can be helpful, they can also be very painful and traumatic sometimes, especially if we've been avoiding doing the work internally or externally for however long. So these times are helping us realize what it is we need to be doing differently as collective and as individuals. So we're going to clarify. Clarifying the seams, we have, what is this, the Three of Pentacles again. So I'll take that, I need to look at this a different way. What do we have? The Sea Tom reverse, which is the Knight of Cups reverse. We have the Four of Pentacles. Clarifying the bottom of the deck. With the bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Pentacles and then the Devil. So, what I'm seeing here with this Four of Pentacles, especially given it's the energy between these two people, there's this sense of needing to let go of some of the things you have done to hurt each other. And that's what I'm seeing here with this Devil energy. It's like that's what needs to be let go of, right? You need to let go of the pettiness. You need to let go of, like, I'm not saying completely just like let go and don't acknowledge your pain, but recognize when you're healing and when you're holding on to the pain. Because I feel like there's a point where like we can heal something and the lesson has been completed, but we're still living out the same scenarios in our head. And that usually tends to keep us in a perpetual cycle of karmic relationships, just overall toxic behaviors within ourselves, and we do tend to attract that as well if we're stuck in this energy. So what I'm seeing here with the Eight of Pentacles and the Devil, with this Four of Pentacles, is we need to move forward from a lot of the ways in which we have held ourselves captive in the past. And I feel like a lot of that energy is internal, and that's why this reading is, yes, applying to perhaps an external relationship, but is giving insight into the internal world and what it means to be in a state of balance. And I feel like that's also why this Three of Pentacles is coming out again, because it's not only applying to this external person, it is really getting us to take a deeper look at what it is that has been keeping us off balance and ways that we have let ourselves get off of balance. And keeping in mind that there are a multitude of external influences that can get us to this point. So what I'm thinking right now, especially with the Knight of Cups reverse, it's like maybe right now isn't the best time to really go and like spill your heart out. You know what I mean? Maybe right now is a good time to take time for yourself, as we are in a type of solitude and this type of energy. Take time for yourself, come to a state of balance, and understand what, like I said earlier, what it is that continues to lead you towards paths that either bring you off your own balance or attract similar situations that you've been trying to get away from. I'm going to clarify these a bit more, though. I'd like to pull in the seams, get some more insight. Particularly, I really want to know what's going on with this Knight of Cups reverse. I don't know. I mean, yeah, okay, so Spirit, before I even pull, Spirit's telling me that this can apply to another person that either of you are dealing with. I feel like this is the masculine energy, right? Given this is on the side of the masculine with the Three of Cups, I'm seeing it like a little path. So what I'm seeing here is the feminine energy is essentially coming to that state of balance because of we have the Queen of Cups here with the Three of Pentacles. So this feminine energy is recognizing what it is that has been bringing her off balance. Keep in mind, not gender specific, and this can apply to how this relationship with the masculine has affected her own internal world in ways in which she needs to let go of particular things. But what I'm seeing here with the masculine, it looks like there may be another party involved, or there was another party involved, and that is what is being let go of right now. That is what is being worked through, and that's essentially what is being moved past. The fact that we had the Three of Cups reverse and the Knight of Cups reverse. Three of Cups can often represent third-party energies when it isn't a love reading. Given this wasn't specifically set out to be a love reading, that can still be what comes through. So I do feel like this masculine energy here, with the Four of Cups or Four of Pentacles energy between both of you both are in the phase of letting go of particular aspects of your life. For you, the feminine, I feel like that represents you letting go of a lot of the ways in which you have perpetuated toxicity, because we all have the potential to be toxic. It is just a matter of recognizing the patterns and putting a stop to the patterns before they continue to operate within our life. And the masculine energy, while it does look like they're doing the same thing, it seems as if they're trying to let go of something, or it feels like the masculine energy may have just come out of something. They may have been involved with somebody else when you were talking, and let's say that just came to a screeching halt, or whatever, what have you, something happened, and so now it seems like the masculine is taking time to heal from this. But keep in mind that this doesn't necessarily have to mean that they just got out of something. This can represent somebody that is still healing from a past relationship. Because let's be honest, healing is a journey and it takes time. And so you can't always expect people to heal at the same rate you do or in the same way. And that's really what I think is coming through here. And I feel like that's why this Three of Pentacles came out multiple times, because it's Spirit really wants to get the point across that this balance is not only internal, but external. And what I'm hearing right now is not all that glitters is gold. And that's really just what's coming through, coming out, because I'm seeing this scarab beetle here. And I feel like the masculine is now recognizing this. They're recognizing hey, not everything is what I thought it was, and that's what's causing this inner shift to happen. But let's clarify these real quick. We're going to have the Prince of Pentacles reverse. We have the Universe. And then we have the Star reverse. And as the overall clarifying energy here, we do have the Two of Swords. And the Queen of Cups came out again. So you know what? I'm going to set that right down here. And, okay, no, I'm taking the Six of Swords too, because that's coming out. Stick that right up here. Nine of Cups seems to be pointing out too. Put that right up there. I hope you don't mind my unconventional reading style. I know a lot of readers like to do the Celtic cross spread, or they have their own particular questions, but me, I just literally just throw cards everywhere and then I interpret them as they come out. It's just how I work. I don't know what to say. I can do the question ones in the designed readings, but I just feel like it just flows easier for me this way when I do it. So let's see here. We have the Universe at the center of these cards that came out, and this really, like I said, it does feel like that universal energy, given we did have the Star come out earlier with the first deck. And so to me, the Universe and the Star are very similar energies in that the Universe is keeping us in a state of not necessarily incubation, because we just came out of the incubation period, but given that many of us are in a state of needing to sift through some of the old lessons, maybe revisit a few things, and it's like an initiation period, right? It's like we're in this initiation period, we've learned so much, and now we're really truly having to apply everything we've learned. But the fact of the matter is, we have the Six of Swords clarifying this Star reverse. And so it's as if you need to trust the process of the universe. You need to trust the way things are moving, even if you do not always understand what is happening. I do feel like there is always some type of order to the chaos, and there is always deeper lessons to be learned. There is always a way to shift your perspective that is going to be conducive to you remaining calm. And I feel like that's what the Star reverse in this Six of Swords is coming out to tell you, because the Six of Swords to me represents moving to calmer waters. It can represent forgiveness, not always forgiveness of another person, but forgiveness of yourself. It can represent the building blocks that lead to deeper foundations of balance within yourself, right? Particularly because this card says science on it, and it is also the card of Aquarius, keeping in mind this seems to also be a card of Mercury. So there are a lot of astrological importance is coming out right now, especially given that Saturn just moved into Aquarius. It is actually my Saturn return, but yeah, but it just started. I didn't even seem to acknowledge that for some reason. I had been talking about it for so long, but the day it happened, I just for some reason forgot. So I feel like that is going to be a very prominent energy, not only for when I do these readings, but because I know many of you are having your Saturn return as well. Saturn is in Aquarius. And I do believe Mercury is in Pisces as I'm doing this reading, right? So the energy is really interesting right now. I mean, we just got out of Mercury retrograde. Collectively, there are some major shifts going on. I feel like Saturn is asking the collective to own up, right? It's asking the collective to think outside of the box, and that often does tend to come with the Aquarius-Saturn energy. Particularly depending on the house you have it in, but when you have Saturn in Aquarius, my understanding of it is it tends to be a very unconventional, conventional energy. And so essentially having the unconventional, airy, alien-like nature of Aquarius combined with the very structured, karmic energy of Saturn, it's essentially learning to restructure the world structures and the internal structures from an outside perspective, from a bird's eye view. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of these other energies, right? We have the Queen of Cups, and while this can represent this feminine energy, I feel like this is talking more so about the deeper emotions you may be facing right now. The Queen of Cups energy, it's like the water of the water, right? It is very, very deep, very, very flowy type of energy. And I feel like right now the universe, given the fact that the universe is at the center of this extra little pool I did, what I'm seeing is the universe is teaching us all of these lessons, and these are all the lessons that are coming out. And so with this Queen of Cups, we're really learning to flow with our emotions. We're learning to be okay with not knowing what's going to happen, and we're learning to kind of thrive in that uncertainty. Given the fact we have the Two of Swords. Two of Swords to me represents peace, truth, coming to a sense of peaceful resolution, not only within your life, but within your relationships. Given this does seem to be, that was the bottom of the deck energy that came out as the overall energy, that is really a big reason this is happening. Again, for greater balance, this is the card of Libra. I believe it has a Libra sign. That's why I love this deck. It has the signs that are associated with each card. And so if you know anything about the Libran energy, I just associate it very broadly with like a justice type of energy, a very balanced communication type of energy. And so right now I feel like communication is coming into balance. Peaceful communication is possible right now, may very well be happening or possibly happen in the future. But with the Prince of Pentacles reversed and the Nine of Cups, what I'm seeing here in the context of the collective and the relationship is that in order for things to really move forward, there needs to be a sense of things being taken care of first. And this can kind of be spoken of here with this, the King of Swords, Three of Cups reverse, and the Nine of Cups reverse. So there's that energy of needing to take care of the past, needing to, clean up anything that you may have been putting off for a while now. And I feel like that energy is really coming through to get you to face what it means to be emotionally independent to some degree. I mean, that's really all that's coming through. Honestly, I feel like we touched on just about everything that came out. Got some really nice messages here, but we're going to go ahead and close this reading out with some animal messages. But just real quick with the Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups to me represents emotional independence. It does represent wish fulfillment to some degree. So if we're looking at this in the relationship and the collective perspective, it does feel like this is the intermediary time before things do come to fruition in your life. Spirit really wants to push forward the fact that this seems to be pointing towards a relationship. Can be a twin flame relationship. I don't see any Emperor or Empress type of energy on here, so it could be a soulmate relationship. But I think the fact of the matter is that right now obviously isn't the time to fully come together. If there's any type of union you're looking forward to, that may just not be on the board right now. And I think a big reason, as I said earlier, is to learn to get to a state of calmness without needing somebody else to get you there, and learning to trust the universe to help guide you there. So last closing messages here for you. For the collective, we have Cobra, and we have the Chameleon. I haven't gotten this card yet, so I'm happy to get this. First of all, we have the Cobra. Change is inevitable, but with it comes the chance to shed a burden. Chameleon, conceal ambition with patience until it is time to make your move. So I feel like this fits in perfectly with some of the messages we got here. Right now, we're going through collective shifts and individual internal shifts. And by doing so, this is helping us understand what our ambitions are in life, what our ambitions are in relationships. And it's a need to really take that time to understand ourselves on a level that we may not have done before. And it's not that we were never capable of it, but now the fact that our environment is shifting around us, we are in a position where we can more deeply look at ourselves in ways that won't encroach upon our ability to attain success through whatever it is we view success as, right? And so what I'm also seeing here with the Chameleon, while it does say conceal ambition and patience until it is time to make your move, I feel like this is also speaking of the need to adapt, given the fact that we are in some fairly uncertain times. And I feel like when we are in uncertainty, that is the time we need to take to get certain with ourselves. So when things around us don't make sense, that's when you need to tap into that internal reserve. You need to find that inner calm. You need to develop that sense of inner peace so that no matter what happens outside of you, you will always be calm and you will always be able to make conscious decisions that are based off of your own internal strength. But I mean, yeah, that said, I really don't think much is coming out. There's really not much else coming out. We already got quite a bit of messages here. So that actually concludes the reading. I love you all so much. If you'd like to book a personal reading, please send me an email to jzargoshepard@gmail.com. Yeah, I hope you have a beautiful week. Stay safe and stay calm out there. But you all have a fantastic week, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye-bye.